It's a paper mill beautiful, the Carole King musical. It's $115 per person, and it goes on sale Monday, March 11th. That's it.
Thank you very much. I'm going to move the WOA business part um, after we do our committee reports first, because we'll go through that fairly quickly. Obviously, we're here to spend a lot of time this evening in regards to the restaurant update and the staffing update. So, in saying that, can I get a report from the budget and finance, please?
We don't have any information at this time related to budget and finance. We don't have anything to add.
No.
I'm sorry, I'm going to do it again. We do not have any information at this time related to budget and finance. We will at the end of the first quarter thereafter.
Okay, all right, thank you. Report on covenants?
Covenants, is Joni here today? Joni? Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, as far as I know, there's no new issues, so there's nothing to report. Yes, ma'am. To the best of my information, we had no meetings, there are no issues, nothing to report.
Or
There's no news to report for WOA covenants. No new cases.
do I have a report from the entertainment committee, please?
Rita planned on being here to give the report, but she's not. The main thing is the two shows that we have coming up. Like I said, March 17th and April 21st. The committee meets next week, and
Okay,
we'll have
thank
more
you.
at the next meeting.
Anything with the landscape committee?
Landscape Committee has not met as yet. We will start to meet first sign of spring, and then we can give you some information.
All right, thank you. Do I have a report from the safety committee?
Last Traffic Safety Committee.
No.
Can't hear us? Can you hear now? Now? Okay, I'll talk louder. At the last Traffic Safety Committee, the committee agreed to give us a recommendation, a report with recommendations for our future. We received that today, but have not looked it over yet. So the board will be reviewing all their recommendations.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Did I say something funny?
No, I don't think.
What can I say?
Okay, can I have a report from the site review committee?
Okay, here I am again. The Site Review Committee met on February 16th. We reviewed 7 new applications, some for mostly for windows. We have doors. We looked at garage door replacement. All of them were approved to go forward, except one has some conditions. We did inspections of someone's windows. They were fine, what they put in, and that's the end of what we did in February.
All righty, thank you. Last but not least, Town Center Committee.
Okay, the first meeting of the 2024 Town Center Committee was held Thursday, February 8th. New members were introduced, some topics were discussed. The Town Center Fitness Center is a bike to exercise the arms, has no resistance. There are no parts available as per Kristen. The bike is outdated and will be addressed in March when the gym equipment will be evaluated. The locker rooms remain under discussion. An anti-slip product previously mentioned in the last Town Center Committee meeting of 2023 is being evaluated. Reviews, cost, warranty, and amount needed for the entrance to the men's and ladies' locker rooms. The floor will have to be professionally cleaned before installation. There were 2 clocks on the indoor there were two clocks in the indoor pool prior to the renovation. Only one was replaced. Requests were made to replace the second one. Kristen said it will be replaced. The resident art displays in the hallways have been a great success. Residents can sign up in person or online, and the work will be displayed for a 2-month period. A discussion of B Bistro ended our planned topics. The consensus was that the restaurant was a definite positive aspect of the community, but that the community wasn't being served. They had very limited hours and days. It was agreed that the board should meet with the restaurant to discuss this. This was Maureen's report.
Okay, thank you. All right, going back to WOA business, we're going to have two updates for you this evening. One is on the restaurant and giving you some updates where we are with the negotiations on that, and a staffing update. We're going to go into the reports, and after we complete the reports, we'll open it up to the forum.
Keep it
to
on
have
mute.
comment. And before we do that, we'll give you a little more information before you get up to speak on the particular issues. So, Sir G, you wanted to give a report on the restaurant?
I do. We have interviewed 3 candidates, including the current one here, George. Okay, I'll get much closer. Is this better?
Wow.
I apologize. Look. Yes, ma'am, that's wonderful. We have met with 3 candidates, and one of them is Bistro and Cafes. This fellow is out of Bloomfield. He has over 18 similar situations, where he manages the catering. These are office buildings, few HOAs, but majority are office buildings or other kind of locations where they want the facility to be in-house, basically for the convenience of their employees. So as far as the HOAs, ma'am, is there backfield? I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Okay, all I have to say is, so this fellow gave us a lot of information, lot of generalities. And then we met with, obviously, our current vendor, George. He gave us, we had a very frank conversation with him. He owes us a proposal. Then we had another young man named Matt. Forgive me if I mispronounce his last name. I think it's Frederici, right?
Correct.
So he owes us, he has a place in Freehold. So he owes us his proposal. It's not fair for me to discuss any numbers till we have all 3 of those together. So please bear with us. It's going to be an open process, fair, based on merit, not on emotion. Thank you very much.
What you have?
Okay. Okay,
If you get
Sir
through-
G, I'll just add to that one bit that this
Checkbook
committee
later.
will be
Can I
meeting
try any of
again
this?
next week, and hopefully we can bring this matter to a resolution. Okay, let's move on to the next item,
Where it
which
would
is
be.
the update on the staffing. Let me
Sit
stand.
down. Here.
I'm going to do the very best. It seems the microphones are not sensitive enough tonight. So we're almost putting him in our mouth so you can hear us. So, as you know, since January, we have basically lost 5 positions if we're not going to be, if we're not going to be acting in our best behavior, nothing's going to be accomplished there tonight. And I'm going to ask everyone, I was going to do this later, but I'm going to do it now. There's some rules that we have to follow to have a productive meeting. And that's not to interrupt, not to shout, and let everyone hear what the person is trying to say without interruptions. That will go a long way in moving this meeting tonight. Okay, as you know, we're down 5 positions. This board has now got a dilemma because we have to make a decision on something of whether or not we're going to make a change or not make a change. And that's always a dilemma when you get forced with that. But since the dilemma is now this board's responsibility, we're going to take it, and we're going to take it seriously and get the business done. As you all know, the unemployment rate is very, very low. In January, it was 3.7%. So it's a very strong market out there, which means it's very hard to attract talent because the people with the talent are being pulled out from all different directions for their services. So we're in the same position. We have trouble attracting the right people. So in order to get through this problem that's currently going on in the job market, we're reaching out to the professional companies that handle these HOA management issues. And they have the talent and the people who we could look at and discuss and have them run our facility. That's one of the ideas we're looking at. And of course, the thing is that's always saying that if you bring somebody in from a management firm, you lose control of your community. That is definitely not accurate. We have total control. Everyone on this board has asked that question of the people we've interviewed, and we are absolutely positively assured that we have total control, and that will be in the contract. Trust me, if we enter into one. So as I've said, we've been speaking with the 2 of the largest people in this industry. And this board really found out about what's going on with this industry from our neighboring communities. We entered into a meeting a few weeks ago about, well, it's called the Gated Communities of Monroe, where everyone gets together and we discuss what's going on in our communities. And we learned that most, if not all, of these communities here now are being managed by management firms. That includes the Regency, Concordia, Clearbrook, Stonebridge. They're all going to that way for the same reasons that I stated earlier, because everyone has the same dilemma right now. And we've asked, how is it working? And we've gotten very positive comments back from everyone. So we felt pretty good about that. So therefore, we entered into some discussions, some of these leaders. And our property manager, Jamie, has been very helpful to the board in these discussions with these companies. She's as concerned as the board is that we make sure that whoever is going to be following her and the people before her have the best interest for this community at heart. And we all stand by that. And we're going to make sure that the communication is always good between all of us and the people that we hire. If we hire. I'm going to say we haven't made a decision yet on this. There's still information the board has requested and we have not received yet. So I can't tell you there's been a decision because there hasn't been. These are ongoing negotiations that would probably go on for about 6 to 8 weeks before you would come to a final decision. But we're trying to get it done in 2 weeks. So it's been a hectic 2 weeks for the board to try to come to a understanding of what's best for this community and how we can move forward with it. The board is going to hopefully make a decision on this issue very soon. I mean, we have been meeting every day. And I'm not kidding you when I tell you every day. I mean, for 6 to 8 hours, sometimes a day. It's been like a full-time job lately for all of us. So we're really concerned in making sure that whatever happens here is going to be the best interest of everyone in this room. We're all stakeholders. We have an interest in this too. We want this community to be the best that it can possibly be. So we all share the same thing. We want the best for the community. So we're going to make sure we're able to do that. And in saying that, I want to lay a little more ground rules for opening up the forum. Please, don't interrupt people. Don't shout. And if anyone is sitting down in your area and they're doing that, please tell them not to. We're trying to get information out. We're trying to hear from you, because before we can make any decision on anything, we have to hear from you. That's important. That's the biggest piece of the whole puzzle, making sure that we're happy with what you're saying and what you feel. And we want to get your input. So we'll appreciate if you could, keep it orderly, keep it moving. And we're going to do our best to get you out of here tonight. And we are going to have, oh, somebody must have raised the volume. Somebody raised the volume. Okay. What we're going to have to do is limit each speaker to 3 minutes. Because look at all the people here. So we're going to keep it for 3 minutes. We have a clock here. We're going to try to give you a 30-second warning before your time is up so you can get your final thoughts together. I know 3 minutes isn't a lot of time, but unfortunately, that's what we're going to have to do here this evening. And I would like you to begin by addressing these two issues at the forum. So at this point, I will sit down and I will ask people if they want to speak to please come to the microphone. And if someone has asked a question that you're also thinking about, please don't try to repeat it. Let the room move along. Please don't repeat it so we can get this meeting accomplished. There's a great amount of people here tonight. So we appreciate all the cooperation and the help from you. So therefore, I'm going to open it up. So if anyone would like to come and speak on this matter, please come down. Please state your name and your address, and we'll begin the process.
Everybody has a question.
Women, all women.
Well, that's Alicia.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's not
Hi,
wrong.
my name is Ann Matisoff. I live at 116 Birmingham.
Please try to be quiet while we're speaking so we can hear them. There's a lot of people in the room and the sound
Well,
doesn't
what'd you
travel
do?
very
Why did you have
far
to
when
keep
there's a lot of
touching
people in the
it?
room, so please
Set, that's what I
need
did.
some cooperation with that.
Oh, so you
Thank
just-
you.
I'm reading a letter from Joan Hermely, who's the
You would put it
editor
back.
of The
I'm
Voice.
sorry.
She
I
happens
did
to
was
be in
move the
Florida and couldn't make this
in my
meeting.
stupidity.
So she asked me if I would read this.
Why is it doing this?
It says to the WOA board
Tell
and the
it
Greenbrier.
politely.
That's what's
I will
doing
be
it.
in Florida February 29th, but I would like to take a chance to express my views on what's going on in the GW community. First of all, every candidate ran on the platform of transparency. First of all, yet nobody appears to know what's going on. Every person I speak to is unhappy and fearful about the future of GW. We don't know why so many of the staff are leaving, but we all assume it has to do with how they are currently being treated. I have lived here for almost 9 years and have experienced a different management that did next to nothing. Although I may not approve of everything that has been done, I recognize the hard work and dedication to the staff that will now be history. I also know that nobody can please everyone. If the board is considering a management company, the residents should have a voice and a vote. Right now, so many of the residents are away that making decisions is truly unfair. I also feel that the Greenbrier Board represents many of us in the community and should have a say in these matters. As for B Bistro, I have seen many restaurants try to make a profit in our community and not succeed. I do wish they could expand their services to 5 days a week and maybe an early dinner menu. However, I am happy to at least have this small luxury. Many of us are also fearful with the new security system. The past people were known and trusted. So sorry to see them all leave. As elected officials, you are representing all of us in the community, so please hear me as one of them.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, I just have something to say from my point of view. The word security to me means you're secure. I accidentally left my garage door open. At past, people would call and say, Ann, your garage door is open. I live by myself right now, and I was very fearful that nobody called. And when I spoke to Tom about it, he said to me they were told not to. So if this management is telling them not to,
Not this Tom.
not this
Not
Tom,
this Tom.
Tom at the gate, he said he was told not to. So I assume they are not driving around to save gas, but then I don't feel secure. So thank you.
Just to address
Um,
the garage doors,
Go ahead.
just to quickly address the garage doors, they are still asked to drive around. I actually had a resident chase one of our security guards and yelled at him for telling him his garage door was open. So they are. We do have some floaters, is what they call them, guards that fill in when someone's sick or someone's out, and they may not know to do that. So that is something that we have brought up to their supervisor, but yes, they will continue to check garage doors.
All right, thank you. Next speaker, please. Name and address.
Good evening. My name is Karen Mandel and my address is 44 Chichester Road. Do you hear me now? Okay, we're all right. My name is Karen Mandel and I reside at 44 Chichester Road with my husband, Robert or Bob. I am addressing the issue of the restaurant. If you have been here many years and lived here over a decade, we had numerous restaurants who could not make a go of it because, like Ann had mentioned, a good part of the development is gone 4 to 6 months of the year. So if you're going to address and introduce other restaurants, you have to be forward and you have to tell them that they're not going to make a lot of money those months. And this current restaurant, the Bistro, is willing to stay here and the food is good and he services some of the clubs here. And he's not going to he wants to stay where other restaurants, you're going to interview them and they're going to say, sure, let's go. But there was a process where we paid $15 each person in advance. If you look at the wreckage, you'll see whatever I'm saying is true. And it still didn't make a go out of it. So be careful in who you decide to choose and tell them what's really going on. Because if we lose him, he's not coming back. And it was very difficult to get him. Thank you all and good
All right,
evening.
thank you very much. Next speaker, name and address, please.
Hi, my name is Linda Carrazzo. I live at 34 Leeds Lane. And I'm privy to see what goes on with the trucks that are coming in. Wait, I'm going to say what I have to say. There are 5 trucks that I saw come in 3 days, 5 18-wheelers that come in. I don't know if everybody in the community is aware. We are paying these people $1,000 a month to reside here. They have a huge business that they're running out of our community. There are 3 freezers downstairs that we're paying for. We're paying for their gas. We're paying for their electricity. So they're servicing us for 3 hours, a couple of days a week. We need somebody to come into the community that cares about us, that will reach out to other communities to do business, to bring in business, to have new innovative ideas to help our community thrive here. So when I moved here, it was different. There was a restaurant that advertised for different communities to come in here. This hasn't happened. This doesn't happen at all. So I think whoever you interview and whoever you choose has to be young, innovative, creative, and know how to run a restaurant. Because what goes on here, if anybody's been in the restaurant business, 5 18-wheelers in 3 days, does anyone realize the amount of business this guy is doing here? That we are paying them $1,000 a month? That's ridiculous. We're being taken. Everybody thinks it's a good deal. It's a lousy deal. Anyway, thank you to the board for all your hard work, and it's totally appreciated. Even though you're getting a bad rap, a lot of things, thank you very much for doing all your hard work.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Can we clarify, board, can we clarify that we are not paying the restaurant $1,000 a
Yeah.
month?
Yes,
That's not happening.
we are not.
You are incorrect.
No, just, just so the facts are known, the current operator does
What?
not. rent it,
Yes,
does
of
not pay
course.
the utilities. But that's it.
Paying that because paying their utilities, their garbage.
But we do not pay him $1,000 a month.
Okay, I'm Anita
Next speaker.
Schrank at 36 Dawson Lane, who's losing her voice. You know, I say, what a way to run an airline, people. Number one, did you ever look at our books? We've had 6 restaurants here. Did you ever look to see how much they made on our books? I mean, we don't have a finance department. You've done nothing about Sean. And you don't even know how much a restaurant makes. It's not the quote of the restaurant. It's not who's going to give our people more. It's how you guys can help our people. And by doing that is getting the finances from the 6 restaurants that they have in their files to see what they brought in, and it also tells if they had good breakfast people, if they had enough lunch people, if they have enough, dinner people. But you guys didn't do that. You came in and you're trying to reinvent the wheel. The other thing is, I'm not against the management company, but to sit there and tell us about employment at 3.7, it happens that the people that work here in a management company, it's a certain type of work that they do. They even take college courses for it. So it has nothing to do with the employment. It has to do with getting someone that cares. Whether you are the management or not, we have people here that actually loved us in our community and took care of us and our old people, who I heard someone say that the board doesn't care about our old people. Well, I do, because I came here, I was a teenager, and now I'm one of the old people. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Ma'am, may I say something?
Name and address, please.
Ma'am,
little humor is good,
Hold on.
okay?
ma'am over here.
A little humor is
Your
good.
point is
on a minute, hold
well
on, hold
taken.
on.
Your point is very well taken. We have absolutely dug into the old records, and we have analyzed as much as we can get. And the decision is going to be made on merit, not on emotion, just like I said. Please bear with us.
You gotta be at the microphone. We can't have these
Uh,
conversations. All right. All right,
No,
thank
I
you.
thank you very much. Again, the word merit speaks for itself.
Next,
Thank
name
you.
and address, please.
Good evening, Bunny Pagamam, 26 Chichester Road. And it's really very difficult for me to do this because I
We
don't get
need
up there.
really
Can't
close to the
hear me?
microphone.
Better? Thank you. All right, if I asked you, would you like a restaurant here? Everybody would say yes. I don't think that's really the issue. Would you like to have a new car? Of course. The real issue is money. We have had many ventures here. They tried specialty night dinners, entertainment. Remember the lady brought entertainment. She brought a guitar person, a singer. It's just not profitable, and they all left. The success would require, just like a country club, not that we like that word, it would require money, an obligatory fee of some sort. If everybody wants that, that's fine. I don't think we want that. We're not a country club. You have a cafe. Regency has a cafe. All right. You have ours is called the Bistro. Regency, they pay. It costs them, I guessing, I believe if my information is correct, at least 100, may have gone up. It goes up all the time because food goes up. $150 per household in order to have their cafe. We have a bistro with a staff that has consideration for our needs like nothing I've ever seen and satisfaction to our needs. They deliver to your home. My incidents, you ever come home from the hospital? I'm sure all of you have, and you're in your car and you're like, food? I mean, who can think of food? Well, it's right there for you. I'm sorry. So they are very special people and they will deliver your dinner. I don't know what else you could possibly want. If there are issues, corrections that have to be made, then address the restaurateur person, George. If there's something you want different, a price, a change, a lower quantity, well, there's always issues to be addressed, whether it's a restaurant or a ballroom or whatever, then deal with those issues. They've been with us through COVID, delivering food, adjusting menus for holiday occasions. You have people who live alone, 2 or 3 people, their children don't come. When there's a holiday, he offers a small holiday menu. So I can have 3 friends over, I'm not alone, and I have a Passover menu or or Thanksgiving menu. Finally, don't you think if it were profitable for George and he doesn't want to leave, why wouldn't he do it? He is already here.
30
He
seconds.
knows the clientele and his cost. The bistro works at no cost to you. So why are you thinking otherwise? That was the first question when he said you interviewed others. My question is, why? Why are you interviewing other people?
You know, in anything in life, some of the things that you're requesting and that you would like to see requires negotiation. Because everything that you want has a cost. So negotiations have to be done, and we've said that from the very beginning. We are negotiating with them. We have had very positive discussions. They're not complete yet, so I can't give you a report on it, but everything has been going very well with the discussions with the current operator. So we'll see where it goes, but we still have, well, because leases are up, and that's what you generally do when leases are up, and you look to see if you're going to make it better and change the terms. That's exactly why you do it. Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Do I push the button down? It's on. Okay, hi, I'm Regina Savarese. I live at 90 Harvard. Now I'm addressing the board. I am writing to address the recent announcements regarding the resignations within our management team and the board president. The assertion that these individuals resigned of their own volition strikes me as highly coincidental, given the simultaneous departure of 6 key figures. I urge us to approach this situation with utmost logic and transparency. The apparent cascade of resignations appears far from coincidental and raises legitimate questions about the circumstances surrounding these departures. At the heart of our organization lies a commitment to democratic principles and fair governance. The current events, however, seem to challenge these very ideals, leaving us with a sense of unease and skepticism. I implore the board to provide clarity and insight into the events leading up to these resignations. As stakeholders, we deserve a comprehensive understanding of the situation and assurances that our organization remains steadfast in its dedication to transparency and democratic values.
Okay.
It
The,
seems pretty coincidental that since the new board came aboard, everything is being changed, from restaurant to management, everything.
Well, the board hasn't
you.
changed anything at this point. The board, so thank you very much. Next speaker. Next speaker, please. Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Hi, good evening. My name is Roya Shiri. Good evening. My name is Roya Shiri. I live 25 Kingston Court. Be patient with me. Can you hear me? So how about now? Okay. First of all, my English is not my first language. So uh, I moved here like exactly 8 years ago in February. I was so happy to find this community and I loved it. One of my reason I saw many development in this area was my house is in gated community, but lately has been while my community is not gated. I don't know who's in contact with who's like having contract. Always one gate is up. Anybody can walk in. And and as a contractor myself many years ago, some contractors, this kind of job becomes account. They never want to fix it because invoices coming once a week, every 2 weeks. I reach with two member of board, and they're like one-on-one. I mentioned to them, I have a disability. I don't feel comfortable. Anybody can walk in. And I had a person who knocked my door wasn't from here. He was advertising something. I think this is my only concern and has to be fixed, please.
Thank you. Next speaker, please, name and address.
My name is Ellen Panzer Schwartz. I live at 19 London. Can you hear me in the back? Okay. First of all, in the name of transparency, which I absolutely live on my whole life, I'm glad that Linda Carrazzo got up and told you how terrible the restaurant is. But in the name of transparency, one of the 3 restaurants that is being pushed right now is one that she has brought time and time again to this board. So in the name of transparency, she does not support this restaurant because she has another horse in the race. So that's the first transparency that will go on. Secondly, thank you, Regina, for giving half of what I was going to say. But you cannot sit as a board and say, it just so happens that people retire. It just so happens that people find better jobs. You have never met staff who cared more about a community than the people that we have working here. They care about you. They care about seniors. One-on-one, they know when you have a problem. They know when you are coming home from the hospital, and they make sure that people who have concerns are treated with the utmost respect, one-on-one. So my question with regards to a management company, and the only reason we're going for a management company is because we have decimated the management here in such a short period of time that it cannot be for any other reason than the way they have been treated. But with regards for a management company, what are their levels of service that we're getting? Will we have resident services? Will there be people on staff all of the time who know our needs? Or will they be moved in when they're needed from the main management part? So it's just a name at a desk who doesn't know who you are as a member of this community? Is that what kind of service we deserve? I don't think so. That's not the community that I came into. Are we even going to get a full-time management company? Are the managers going to rotate in? Well, I'll take 3 days a week and you take
30
3?
seconds.
And will the other people that they hire be full-time? And who is going to bring them up to speed with each of the individuals here and all of their needs when all of the people who loved us are gone? Thank you.
So glad you're back, and you are just in time for our prize puzzle of the night. And as it's been all the week, it's going to be another goodie. Phrase is the
Hi, my name is Eileen Birnbaum. I live at 3 Chandler Court. I too am speaking in reference to the restaurant. Since the restaurant has been here, I am involved with one of the clubs within the community, and primarily George and the Bistro are the only caterers that we use. To say that he hasn't satisfied us would be not telling you the truth. That man goes above and beyond the call and as to what he is providing for us. There is nothing negative that one can say about he and his service. Yes, it would be nice to have more hours, but that certainly could be worked out. He has been willing to pay, gives generous discounts, and had lots of summer bookings. It was always, we feel, the plan of the board to get rid of him. 8 previous proprietors could not earn a living here. So how are you going to guarantee with a new restaurant or a new proprietor that they will stay and make a living without having perhaps a monthly stipend? We each want the restaurant. George has proven himself to be someone whom we could trust, who serves us, and we just have to perhaps work a little better with him. Thank you.
Linda, I see you standing in the back. We're not going to be able to have double speaking tonight. Well, I understand you're passionate, but we've got a busy agenda here tonight. So please, thank you. All right. Well, okay. No, I don't want to start with double speakers tonight. Your cooperation.
Good evening.
Thank you.
My name's Dennis Marshall. I live at 92 Leeds. I've been here for 10 years. Despite some minor issues and maybe comments about the way this community is managed, I've been really very happy with management by the boards and by the management team. Now that we're going through a potential transition, this community, which is made up of 3 boards, Whittingham, Greenbrier, and Gulf being a very important part of this community and a great asset to it. I want to know that are they going to be represented in this decision-making process?
Gulf doesn't play a role here with these issues, sir. Gulf does not play a role in this issue.
Well, in the past year, the board, WOA and Gulf haven't played well on the same subjects.
Well, I agree. A good relationship between all the boards that are here, because we're all here in the same community, makes a lot of sense. But as far as, your question in regards to making decisions and then weighing in on the decision is not relevant here.
Well, I think it's very important
All right,
that
I hear you.
everything that in this community is on the table for a new management team. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Gail Alpern, 11 Aberdeen Way. I was on the WOA board for 6 years, and I've just not been on very recently. I'm very sorry that I'm not there, because if I was, I would have been voting in a lot of different ways than it's happening right now. When I see this team, I don't know if you remember Abraham Lincoln, but I'm that old. A house divided against itself cannot stand. And on our current board, they don't even agree with each other, let alone anything else. Why would you think that a person would leave the board? The president, Larry, left because he cannot abide what goes on there. So because they cannot come to grips with things, things take too long. We haven't heard the word Sean controller for about 2-3 months now. We don't know if he's available. We don't know if he's leaving. We don't know anything about him. We bicker about the restaurant over and over. They came here with the idea that they would not want that restaurant, and now they're hell-bent to make it go away. They came with the idea it's time for Jamie to go. Well, I worked with Jamie for 6 straight years, and I never had a bad day with Jamie. In fact, she was my mentor. She taught me everything I know, and I could cry right now for her leaving. I could really cry. We have managed through this board to alienate 6 good people to leave. Those people are going to be very happy. You know why? Because other places have snapped them up. They are such terrible employees that they'll be at the surrounding communities in better jobs with more money. And we are the less for it because this board decided that they would be fresh to them and have verbal battles with them. They sit and shook on the edge of their seat, worried every day that they would be fired. Why do I know these things? Because they tell me them. I am in the know because they talk to me all the way down to the custodial help. This is not a board that's friendly to the people and makes them feel warm and welcome. They don't want to work for us. How pitiful is that? I managed in 4 different companies. I never had anybody leave me, except if they were retiring. These people are not retiring. They wanted to retire here. Jamie didn't want to go. She's forced out. She can't take it anymore,
30
and rightly so.
seconds.
So if you want to understand what's going on here, come out just like you did tonight. You have a lot to learn.
Hi, I'm Nadine Waldman, 58 Birmingham. You probably can hear me without a mic. I'm a teacher. Couple of things. First of all, the bistro, I don't care if it goes or it stays. I want a restaurant that's open. I know I have spoken to George personally, as well as my husband, asking him, we're at the pool. We call in from other restaurants to bring in a late lunch, to bring in dinner, because he's not open. I don't know if you've told him he can't be open or he's choosing not to. From what I got from him, he was choosing to be open. So why isn't he? The pool's the busiest time, and yet he's closed on Sunday and closed at 2 on Saturday. That doesn't make any sense. Second of all, unilateral decisions. I've been on a board of an HOA. I've been on one for over 25, 30 years. Do you have any clue what a management company is like? You have 1,600 some odd families here. They will know nothing about them because not only will they be doing here, they'll be doing that development and that one and that one. They'll be doing 25 to 50 developments. I went through about 7 management companies. First year, they're great. They love you. They got you hooked. They got a contract. They don't give a damn about you. And I can tell you that from experience. Secondly, security. My garage has been left open too. Yeah, I'm a little forgetful sometimes. And I get up in the morning and there's my garage open. And no one has ever called me. And it's more than once. Do you know why? Because we see them sleeping in the car and not patrolling. And I've spoken to Jamie about it. My husband and I, we first go out for dinner, 7:30, 8 o'clock. We eat late. They're there sleeping by the pond by Chichester off Birmingham. They're there on Whittingham. When we come home, 10:30, 11, guess what? Same cars in the same spot. And I don't even see the driver because he's probably laying down and sleeping. Yeah, and that is an outsourced management company. So that's what you want for your residents because they stink and those gates are never fixed. And all my friends living over 55s, a gate breaks within a month, 6 weeks, gates are fixed.
30 seconds.
All right, lastly, too many unilateral decisions are being made. I don't get it. There's no due diligence being done. I know from experience, 3 months, you didn't do any due diligence. And there's no transparency How dare you call yourself a board that represents us? Because you don't. To me, you all have ulterior motives for who you want doing what job. Start answering some questions. People are getting up, they're asking you questions, and your reply to every question is next person,
All right,
answer some of our damn questions.
all right, time is up, please. Listen, I'm gonna address that. Listen,
Hooray, hooray, hooray.
I don't know, I'm sure that the last speaker knows quite a bit. But unfortunately, a lot that you know is wrong.
Oh, no.
Next speaker, please.
Okay, I'm Lolly Reich, 3 Wellfleet Street. I'm living here 12 years and have loved every minute that I'm living here. Never did I see anything like this. Okay, I really have to shout. I don't know how to shout. That's all right. Since I'm living here, my husband passed. And let me tell you, I don't know what I would have done without George, because he was always there to send in a meal that I requested, and always, always the most hospitable guy you could ever meet. True, he could use more hours, and if you spoke to him, which you haven't, he would be very easy to manipulate as far as that goes. You took all the information from the other 3 companies or people or whatever they are, money people, I don't know, and never gave him a chance. Bob, okay, some of it might not be true, but most of it is. I love this community too much to see what's happening. The thought that we will not know a person up in that office, that we won't know, that we don't know anybody at security. This whole place just fell apart with this new board. And no. Yes, yes. Oh, maybe it was the old board, I don't know. But yeah. But what you did is inexcusable. You don't get rid of the baby with the bathwater. We need those people up there. We need Jamie. We need every one of them. One of the girls went to where my daughter lives in 4 Seasons. And I called her and I said, you don't know what you're getting, a gem. And let me leave it at that, because our maintenance staff is great. I mean, we didn't have one complaint. And now I feel like I'm a fish out of water. So see what you can't do much now because everybody is gone.
30 seconds.
I'm getting off here anyway.
Okay. All right, thank you. Kathy would like to address some of your points.
I'd like to just talk a little bit about the restaurant so that everyone understands. There are 1,600 plus and 7 exact homes in this community. We're hearing a lot of very positive, but we're also hearing some negative. Not everyone is very happy with the restaurant. So can I just, let me respond. So we as a board have an obligation. The contract for the restaurant is ending soon. We didn't do this because we just felt like it. The contract is ending soon. So we are doing what we are required to do as a board. We are speaking with the current restaurant owner to see whether or not he can do a little bit better for those who are not happy. And we're speaking with others to see if perhaps they might have better options. That is what we are required to do. And if we didn't do it, you'd be yelling at us for not doing it. So please understand, we have no favorability here. We are only obligated to our homeowners. And we listen to you, but we also listen to the 10 others that are saying they're not happy. And we're trying to make everyone, the majority, as happy as we can. Please understand, we do this, we don't get paid for it. We're doing it on a volunteer basis, and we've been spending more time than my regular job that I had. Please understand, we're doing the best we can.
Fiction, followed by a little break to live, laugh, love, and we have colors of the rainbow. Finally, me,
Hi, can you hear me?
Luigi, start us off.
Okay, my name is DJ Downing and I live on Winthrop Road. I've been here 6 years. I've recently retired and have been trying to become more engaged with the community at a very top line level. I have a little background. I've worked for and been on many boards in the corporate world and the nonprofit world. Very difficult job, but I've been taking all the bits and pieces, and there are many, whether it's security, whether it's the restaurants, whether it's the staffing of this building, and thinking about all these things. I've also reviewed the early budget numbers that came out. And everything is important to everyone at different levels. I do understand that. And I'm not here supporting anyone, but I will say for the board and everyone here, when you're faced with these many issues, one of the most important things that a working board can have as a tool is an independent financial audit. And those people will help guide long-term and short-term needs to the best of everyone's needs. And they're very helpful for volunteer boards. And it's also essential that we know where every cent goes and can make informed decisions. The other thing I would like to say as a sidebar, I have lived in a very nice, well-known townhome community in the past. And it was not a local hands-on, it was a management company. And while I know unemployment and costs and everything, I would like to caution that unless they are here and there's at least one representative representing us from that management company, you will not get the services you've been used to. And I'm not speaking in particular or specifics at all. I've not had a problem. I'm looking at this more from 2,000 feet, and that's all I'd like to say. But I would like to see an independently
30
audited
seconds.
financial statement.
Good evening, everyone. Joe Atanasio, 1221 Wellington Place. I'm going to switch gears a minute because I think we all need a break from the management and the restaurant. I'm addressing this to the people that houses back up to Prospect Plains, Prineville Road, Half Acre. There was a problem that I noticed about the truckers going by using something called an engine brake. That's the thing that they pop. It sounds like a shotgun and it shakes your house. I went to the town council last month and I complained about this because there's an ordinance that was put into place 20 years ago in 2004 that prohibited the use of the engine brake or Jake brake in this town. It has not been enforced. Okay? Luckily, I was heard by council. I sent an email to council, and Charlie DePiero, our councilman, not even in this ward, was the only one that answered me. He referred me to Alan Weinberg, who is the business administrator, and Kevin McGowan. I'm happy to announce that signage has now been put up outside our community on Prospect Plains, on Half Acre, on Prineville Road, telling the truckers that the use of engine brake is prohibited in this town and finable up to $100 per occurrence. So we got that done. All right? The point I'm making is this: if there's a problem that you have with this town, the township, not the community, things go on in this town that you people have to be involved with. A, the engine brake. B, the McDonald's that's been putting in Concordia. That's not dead. So I urge you all, look at the website, come to us at the council meetings, at zoning board, all right? And before we get things done in this community, let's get things done in this town. Thank you.
Your next speaker.
My name is Shabir Sengupta, and I live on 25 Harwood. So I just want to ask the board said that there is a 3.7% unemployment and there are lots of jobs, so the management left. I don't think they're being transparent because there has been a 3.5% unemployment in the last 3 years and nobody ever left, okay? So there is so I don't think they're fully transparent as to what occurred, why the management left. They got to give the people here some credit and, you know, come up with the right reasons, tell us why they left, because most of the people seem to have personal connections with the management and they were happy with the management. So suddenly everybody starts leaving and you say that's 3.5% unemployment. A lot of jobs, but for the last 3 or 4 years, the unemployment has been 3.5%.
Since my name was specifically addressed, I want to say, yes, I did recommend Frankie Feds. He's part of the Federici family who's been in Freehold for like, I don't know, 50 or 100 years. So I did. The same way B Bistro was also introduced to this community by somebody that lives here. So I didn't do anything inappropriate. I'm not getting any money out of this. I was looking to help the community so we have a better restaurant that serves us. I just wanted to say that that's it. Thank you.
Marcia Bartoff, 65 Harwood Road. I have a question for the board, and of course it revolves around the word transparency. I need a yes or a no answer. Was the board attorney changed?
Board attorney has not been changed.
Okay. Okay. Number two, and I'm speaking not as a friend of, but it had come to my understanding that the former board president, Mr. Rosen, did not want to leave, that he was demoted by this board here. And we all got a letter saying that he had other things in his life that he needed to be involved with, and that wasn't true. So if that there's
I'm
something
not going to
different.
get into those private discussions that went on. I don't think it would be
Okay.
appropriate.
Well,
So
all I'm going to say is this. You have a lot of people here who would like some answers. That's all we're asking for.
Good evening, Bob Forsack, 138 Chichester. Last time I was at a meeting, I think 2 meetings ago, and I talked to the board, I had mentioned that I hadn't heard anything about the do's and don'ts of security. And then Jamie said that she had put something in the newspaper. And when I went home that night later on, I did get an email with the article that was in the newspaper. So thank you very much on that one. After I read the article 95% spoke about the gatehouse. My answers for security about do's and don'ts, there were no don'ts and very few do's. So I started researching it. I spent many hours on the computer looking up homeowners association security. And I went to different, on the website, that better? Oh, all right. But California and Florida were the two biggest ones. I read stuff from Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, Arizona, and I started researching homeowners security. I went on HOA sites. And based on what they say, we do not have security in this community. We have guards that take care of the front gate. They mentioned in there the reason that HOAs do not have security in the regular areas. Security takes care of the community areas, the clubhouse, the parking lots, the gates. That's it as far as they're concerned. But the HOA stated, and I have some actual statements from them in here, but it's too long to read. What they said basically is, we don't have security because it's a liability issue. They talk about that the homes in a HOA community, besides the common areas, the homes are not covered by security. And to stop, and it mentioned if you're a board member, take the word security out of all of your writings because you don't have it. As far as Greenbrier, as far as Whittingham, we do not have security. The only security we have is our alarm system, our locks on our doors, and our locks on the windows. That's it. Period.
30
They
seconds.
also made several recommendations that if you wanted security, it has to be in the governing documents. I went through all our governing documents, and it does not mention that we have security. It mentions that the board can, at any time, can plan and get security for something, but we have no security. Just so you know, we have guards at the front, and the lady talking about the gates, they talked about gates in this. With those gates like they are, there is a liability to the board if something happens. So just so everybody knows.
Hi, I'm Paul Klarman, 41 Wintons Way. Believe it or not, we did have a management concern when we first inherited from the builder. We found that they were slower in response, that they made boo-boos. For example, we had a 25-inch snowstorm my first year. On a Sunday, we didn't get service till Wednesday. Okay, that's when they first started digging us out, and they cost more money. They were finally let go when their controller left, and we found out she was the only one we had, and they replaced her after 5 months. Okay, I was on the board, so I know. I was on the first board. As far as the tap room is concerned, it's a loser. There's no business Saturday and Sunday. Friday night, people go out to eat. They don't eat here. There's no breakfast. So you have only 2 meals, 4 days a week, 1 meal 4 days a week, or 1 meal 5 days a week. They can't make a living. It's a loser, period. No question about it. We had more like 10, not 6, as was previously stated. They came and they went. I lost count. It was about 10. But they can't make money here. They're lucky if they came out with a few dollars in their pocket. It isn't worth the effort. And the average one left after less than a year. So changing the restaurant is a big boo-boo. It won't work, period. You people, none of you were here. I don't think with one exception here, Karen, but none of you were here when we had restaurants. So, but I was here for each and every one. I was on the board for all those people. We couldn't find anyone who could stay. We had people who had, the last one was a semi-upscale restaurant. We gave him $180 per household, but then COVID put him out of business for a while. He never wanted to come back, even with that guarantee of almost $290,000. Okay, we had one restaurateur. He was making he was taking orders for lobsters on Friday night. He still couldn't get the business. There is no business here. They can't make money. I've
30
been through it all.
seconds.
Thank you.
Ruth Marcus, 20 Trent. I've been here 24 years. Okay, that better? I've been here 24 years and have been to a few boards and many
of the complaints that you've mentioned. Number one, I would just have to say about the security of, excuse me, the guards. I have left my garage open a couple of times, and I've been notified each and every time. One of them was Karen, who some of you may know, and she called me up. It was like 12 at night. Thank you very much. I appreciated that. I really did. Okay. As far as the gates being up, that bothers me a lot. There's always gates that are left up, and you mention it and nothing is done. And now, I just like to get to the board. You have all been elected for your own little complaint that you have. I personally voted for none of you. You have no experience. Kathy got her lines put down on the ground, which looked ridiculous. And the rest of you have never done this before, and you are the people that are interviewing an important part of our community. I was appalled that a management company is coming in and that you have been not working well with Jamie and the rest of the staff. It is atrocious that you have allowed this to happen. I don't know why you want to change it so much, so fast. And people are complaining bitterly about the coming into the community, lined up all the way out to the street. These people have not been taught how to interview somebody that's coming in, getting calls. I mean, it's ridiculous. You really don't know what you're doing, and you really need
30
to get somebody
seconds.
who knows what they're doing to assist you.
Hi, everybody. Some of you people know me. I'm Linda Radowitz, and I live at 76 Chichester. I've been here a few years, so I think I am qualified to talk. The board is trying. That much I do sense. However, I'm more concerned. I look around, I've never seen so many people here in my 88 years, but okay. The point is that a lot of people tap me on the shoulder and I get questions. Did you hear? Do you know? What's happening? I heard this, I heard that. And it occurred to me that in my own house, belonging to a few organizations and temples, every once in a while, I get an email. Where is it from? It's from the president or the higher people of the people I'm dealing with. And they give me a little update of the actual reading, what is going on in my world. And I find that most of the people here who would either be playing canasta or mahjong or poker or whatever, rather than sitting here and listening to the same kinds of complaints that most people have, would really be rest assured if they had a statement on an email from the board letting us all know all at the same time what is really going on. I've heard people say 3 people from our community have resigned. Then I hear, did you hear 3 people from our community were fired? Well, I don't know which is the truth. And I usually, people who know me know that I don't speak unless I have all the facts. And we don't seem to be getting all the facts. We see people taking sides and accomplishing nothing. And time runs very fast. We don't have, if I see
30
so many
seconds.
elderly as me, people to really bat all of this around, but we really, all of us, every single one, are entitled to know what is going on in our community. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Howard Weiner, and I live at 9 Birmingham, and I'm here 24 years. I want to cover 3 topics. I'll try to do it in 3 minutes. To start with, I just want to mention the restaurant. I have a business, and if I don't make a profit, I close the business. The restaurant is the first restaurant who has ever been here, who has, first of all, good food. I go after hours and it's wonderful. The food used to be awful. Every one of these parties that we have, the food is not good. You go there, it's like being in the finest restaurant. They try to make it nice. They never run out of food. That's all I have to say about the restaurant. And not only that, we're not giving them money. It's the first time we really have a restaurant and we're breaking even or whatever. We're doing fine. Don't spoil it. Next thing I want to cover is the board. And forgive me, but I'm going to tell rumors. I don't know that's true. But what you've seen so far is committee reports with no reports. Now, I have a condo in the Ocean Club in Atlantic City, and they have First Service. And First Service is a very expensive venture. It's 2% on all the salaries plus other money. And we're getting hit. We just got hit. My apartment went up $400 for the next 5 years. Was because we had very nice boards like we had. They never increased $1, $2. And that's why we're in this situation now. And they meant well. They saved us money. You pay now or you pay later. That's the way life is. Well, anyway, at least on their board, and they have a situation where it's a war. You wouldn't believe they go out and print literature at their own expense, and you think that board seat is gold the way they fight for it. And it's a constant battle. Now one side has more people. We have terraces that are falling down. We have elevators that don't work.
Can you speak a little closer to the microphone?
I'm sorry. And we have elevators that don't work in a 32-story building. And it's a real good place to live in when it's run good. And they're trying the new board now.
30 seconds.
It's all right. Let me get on to the board. The things I heard about, I heard that one person walked into an area where there were 3 people working. And this person said, 3 people could do this job. Then the one person, I'm sorry, 3 are already doing it. And whether they do or not, they have no right to tell them that because they're going to leave. And whether it's, you know it or not, you really said it. I have a business. It's so hard to hire anybody. A person you hire is never as good as the one before. It's very hard. And what was that?
All right.
All right. I just
Sure.
there's similar incidents like that one.
Well,
Well, most of the employees have told me that they've been intimidated, and that's why they left.
All right. Your time is up, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Debbie Harbecken, 69B Winthrop. I'm only here 3 years. Okay. I'm not here to tell you my personal opinion because I have opinions on both sides of the restaurant, of the management, of this, of that. Okay. And everybody in this room is, and everybody in Zoom has their opinion. But we don't know what the collective opinion is. So my suggestion to the board, because everybody's screaming transparency, why don't we survey all the homes and see what the priorities are in their needs for the restaurant, what their priorities are in their needs for the management, for the board, for the entertainment committee, for this, for that. that should all be said. Once 1,600 homes or even 1,200 of those homes respond, you will have data that shows exactly what we need. We can't ask the restaurant for everything and expect him to lose here, but we can ask him for what our priorities are, what the bulk of our residents need. And then after that survey is compiled, is, figured out what we're looking for, the board needs to come up with two choices for restaurant, two choices for management. Here's the numbers. Here's what we're going to make, what we're going to lose. Here's what the restaurant stands to make and stands to lose. And when our people have that transparency from the board, which they've compiled from our people, then everybody's informed. Everybody had their say, and the majority wins. That's the end. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Debbie.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to see all these people who really care one way or the other. My name is Harriet Weitzer. I'm here 23 years. Half the people here I know so well, and I love all of you. And it was always a pleasure to be here, to do everything well, except the word transparency entered our lives, and poorly, because we would find out after something was proposed, then we would have the meeting. Well, I never really went to a meeting where I spoke. But first we got rid of having the older people have the bus. That was a tragedy to all of those people. And secondly, and quite importantly, was this wonderful newspaper that the people put out every month. But if you'll look in the lobby doorway, there's an umbrella stand and a nice stand. It's the end of the month now. It's full. Why? Because there are people who we always had it delivered. Where was the money that they couldn't do this and do other things? This was for everybody. And finally and last, I went to a meeting where almost everyone was new, okay? And it was about security. So I told them two sentences. I told them the first sentence was, I don't know why I'm here, but if something works so well, beautiful, beautiful, why would you give it up? And the second thing I said to them was, with this group in security, you will never have as much safety as you have now. I applaud all of you.
Rose Ferrara, 3 Umberland. I want to say to all of the people that are here, I don't know how many of you voted for the board, but this is the board we voted for. If you're not happy with them, look in the mirror. It's your choice. You voted whoever was here, who left, who we have now. It was your choice to make this selection. And I feel bad for this board, what's been thrown in their face. Whether I voted for them or not is not the point. We all talked about transparency, and I honestly feel that's why the majority of people voted this board in. And I agreed with one woman that said, we all talk about transparency. I think what would help everyone is to hear more of a proactive approach as opposed to a reactive approach. And I think that would help satisfy everyone. As you heard, I heard this, I heard that, this rumor, that rumor, who got fired, who quit, why. It's why people do what they do is their choice. And I don't feel that we have the right to blame a board because we voted them in. Thank you.
Very much.
Hi, I'm Carmine Campanella, 80 Leeds Lane. I'm sitting here and I'm listening to all you people. And all I hear is, this board is no good. They're not doing anything. They're only here 3 months. Give them a damn chance. Give them a chance, my God. You complain, you start, I heard some, giggling in the back when some of the reports were read that there's no report, there's no report, there's no report. They're here 3 months. The people who they were supposed to get reports from probably left. Okay? And then the other thing that really bothers me is that you keep throwing security in their faces. One member of the previous board is the board that voted in the new security group. And so was this other person who sat here and complained that she was here for 24 years and this board voted security in the new one. They did not. They weren't even here. Security was formed and brought in by the other board. And as far as transparency is concerned, the property manager hired these people that all left. Now, in this day and age, people are looking for jobs, and I find it very interesting that all these people just left on the same whim. Thank you.
This will be the last speaker.
I just want to let the board know that we do have a lot of questions on Zoom that I promised people we'd address.
We'll take it after this will be the last. speaker.
Okay,
We'll
and
take
just
it.
to address Carmine's state that the property manager
Okay.
hired every.
Good evening. My name is Michael Toletti. We're from 4 Stirring Circle. I've been in this community about 15 minutes. And I come in here and I hear that, people are leaving and things like that. And I'm listening to all that's going on, restaurants and securities. But I think we're skating the issue here. The issue is really a management company. Is this a management company going to come in and run this place, and how are they going to do it? And the way I look at it is risk versus reward. Is a management company can come in and they can address the restaurant, they can come in and address security, they can come in and address all of this stuff. But unless we have a good management company, and when I say risk versus reward, how's that going to affect your HOA fee? How's that going to affect the current landscaping that you have? So that management company that I haven't heard mentioned by most of the people that came up to this microphone, this is the most important issue that we have in this room right now. And the idea is to get a good management company, if that's the case, or continue to self-management. But the thing is, you got to have that risk versus reward situation going on. What's that management company going to cost us? What's that management company going to do for us? These are important things. And I hear transparency of the board. The board is as good as the people that support them. And I've been on boards in the New York City Fire Department. I've been on numerous different, I was the vice president of a union, and I see the same thing go on in every, especially large meetings. Understand that a board is here that they're not being paid for. Obviously, they have some passion to give up their time to make this good. All right? In all fairness, 3 months is not a lot of time to get on board with things. I took over a new station in the fire department and they turned around and said to me, "What are you going to do?" I said, "I'm not doing anything until I see how this place operates." So once you see how it operates, then you could say, "This is broken, let me fix it." But taking this kind of attitude towards it is not a good
30
thing. My
seconds.
thought is right now, if we have to get a management company in here, let's unilaterally find something that's going to be good for the community, that's going to be good for security, that's going to be good for a restaurant, that's going to be good for the pool, the tennis courts, something that goes across the board. So I thank you for this, but just remember, risk versus reward. You know the devil you have, you don't know the devil you're going to get.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, that'll be the last speaker. We'll go to Jamie. She's got
Okay,
people-
I'll read through.
I just want to say
Sure.
something, if you don't mind. I do want to address the issue of transparency. Transparency personally is very important to me. I'm a communicator. We did send out a communication on February 26th. We addressed the issue that many have spoken about. We wrote, the WOA board did not terminate or ask any staff member to resign or retire. We did not. I do not understand what the community is speaking about. None of those retirees or resignations have come to us at all and said anything derogatory, negative. We are not aware of anything. We indicated that we were just as surprised as you were for all of these announcements. Now, we did say very clearly, it is the kind of market where people are looking for better opportunities. We cannot deny them that.
All right, but please, you gotta restrain. All right, she sat here and listened to you. She sat here. No, please sit down. Alan, you're out of order. You're out of order. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
If
Okay,
that is why Jamie is leaving, she has not told us that.
you're out of order again. You're out of order.
We
Out
didn't
of
want
order.
to push her out.
Out of order. All right. You're out of order. You're out of order. All right. Okay. Thank you. Jamie, can you please have the people? What? No,
What?
you're out of order. People behaving badly.
You want me to read
That
the
is
Zoom
not
question?
necessary. Let's please be respectful.
Okay, so I'm reading
Go ahead.
the Zoom questions. Okay, the first Zoom question, Robin Kessler. I'd like to know when security is going to be addressed, lack of security, especially they're not asking addresses and names, also not patrolling the area like they used to. Bear with me, some of these are not questions. Rhonda Marin, did the board meet regarding the restaurant?
Excuse me, Jamie.
Excuse me.
No,
Excuse me.
this is important.
Excuse me.
You
You're
talk about
We're running a
transparency.
meeting
I
here,
don't care.
please. You're
Throw
being-
me out.
You're not
You
supposed to
open
be
your
doing
mouth
what you're
to our
doing.
employees.
You're out of
When
control.
Nancy and I was
Stop.
there, you didn't know I was there.
Bad
Over your
behavior.
fireplace.
This
That's
is
not
for
transparent.
everyone who came
And
to
whatever
the
you
meeting.
did in East Brunswick, you're not gonna do
Please.
here.
We're trying. Thank you. Thank you. Can we hear the question, please?
Did the board meet regarding the restaurant?
The board has a subcommittee that has been meeting and interviewing candidates who have expressed interest, including the current operator. Those discussions and negotiations are still ongoing, and we're hoping to get it to a conclusion maybe by next week. And once we do, we will announce what comes out of it to everyone.
The next question is regarding security people who have been fired.
Security,
Fran Fruchter sent
as
that.
has been said by people in the public and by board members in the past, this board did not hire this firm. This was all put in place when we came into here. We're here 3 months. This was all in place when we got here. We have had concerns and we've raised them to the property manager in regards to some issues that have been raised to us in regards to security, as far as the gates being broken, as far as garage doors being open. We've brought that to their attention. It's being looked at, it's being managed, but as far as, you know, the board doing all these horrible things that people are saying here, I mean, goodness gracious, give us a break, will you please?
Rhonda Marin said no to outside management. Gail Klein said perhaps the board should explain what an outside management company entails.
Good.
Okay, we are currently interviewing management companies, very reputable management companies, those who have experience in the neighboring communities specific to this type of a community. We have talked to them about on-site property manager, someone who will be here. They understand our concerns. We have not made any decisions yet, but we have very limited time. And in terms of 5 open positions, for us to hire those would take months. And so we're looking at this as a possibility. And we're trying to get all the information that we possibly can, with the understanding that communication is key. They will do what we say, what we approve of. We will tell them what to do. That is how management companies operate.
Okay, the next was Margie Bales. Make sure that it is in writing that we have control. We do not want to lose control. A contract stating we do not want to lose control. Rhonda Marin stated residents should have a chance to vote. Marissa Acera said there should be a vote. Fran Fruchter, from discussing with other communities about a management team, how much will our HOA fees go up?
Questions are being asked in regards to, you know, I'm sorry, these microphones are not working well tonight. We're looking at these management companies for the simple reason that Kathy has stated. But there's also an efficiency here that, you know, it could potentially lower cost. And, you know, and everyone has been complaining how high the last 2 years these HOA fees have gone up. Well, you have to really start looking at things if you want to try to get things under control. As we're saying, we're here 3 months. This process that's going on now should have taken 6 to 8 weeks. We're doing it in 2 weeks. So we can't share everything with you because we don't have everything at this point. We're still talking to these companies. But the main drive here is to give this community the service it needs and it wants. No different than what's going on now. We want a very smooth transition if that's the case. We don't want any bumps in the road. We want everyone to be satisfied with whatever happens here because you're satisfied now. And we don't want to make any changes on that. We're looking out for your interest, not only for the services, but what your fees are, what you have to pay every month. But some people are really starting to have a hard time. The condos, their fees are up to $630. That's a lot of money for somebody. So please, the board is looking at everything to try to make a balanced decision here. Okay, thank you, Jay.
The next question was who was fired from security and why?
We have nothing to do with that position, so we're not in position to have any discussion on that. You know, they don't work for the board.
But Planned Security did come and meet. They did send representatives to meet with the board and discuss some of the concerns the board had about people who were let go. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just for everybody else. Robin Kess, oh no, you don't want to know that one. Sorry, it's kind of hard. People are talking to each other on here too. Michelle Sandler, are the other communities who use management companies pleased with the arrangement, or is it just the only option because it's a problem to hire qualified people?
Well, we have, again, we had a community meeting. That meeting consisted of representatives from all the neighboring,
Most of the gated
Most.
communities in Monroe.
were represented at this meeting. We talked by their property manager, there were several.
Yeah, it's the leadership of the communities that attended the
Right.
meeting.
And so we again talked to them. They explained to us that the people of the community are very happy. We can see on next door that there are not many complaints about the neighboring communities and their management company. I can only go based on what we were told. If anyone knows anything different, we would love to hear about it. Concordia, was the first one that said they were very happy with the change that was made.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
We
Next,
have
Next one is from James Varghese. Who is running the board in the absence of a chairman? When will we have a chairman? And I did respond to him that Tom Clark is the president of the board at this time. Bill Baldizone, how many written proposals from property management firms have been submitted and are being reviewed? Is it planned to have them reviewed by our council?
talking with the two leaders in that field in the nation. And of course, anything that gets agreed upon has to have attorney review.
Robin Kessler. Again, about security, they're not checking for garage doors. And they're not calling residents when people come in. Eileen Carpenter, I heard 2 security guards who were grandfathered in were fired after Jamie's resignation. Why has this happened? Those security guards are well liked in the community. You already addressed that. Well, no, they addressed the question as planned companies. Who is your security company right now made the decision. That was their answer. Robin Kessler, I agree. Karen was fired. She was one of the best people in security. She cared about us. Carol Fine, one man asked for my phone number so that he didn't have to look it up. I'm not really sure what that means. Rhonda Marin, what do we pay them? I'm assuming that is referring to the management company.
Paid anybody anything. I mean, that's still being negotiated.
Gail Shinberg says that the security company is making it difficult for people to collect unemployment. We wouldn't know anything about that. Eileen Carpenter, they were protected before that was the agreement. As soon as Jamie resigned, this happened. Why didn't the board step in? Regarding security.
Well, currently there's a contract that's in place. And I'm not quite sure when that contract expires. As I said, it was put in place by a previous board. But certainly, if there's any opportunity to review that and get some things made better, we'll certainly take that opportunity.
Okay, so Rhonda Marin, there's more going on than just the restaurant. Robin Kessler, we need to fire the security company. They do nothing to protect us. Rhonda Marin, how about the outdoor pool? It was supposed to be completed this summer, 2024.
No current plans to do anything with the pool. We've just been briefed on that, in the last few months. There's obviously some capital improvements the pool is gonna have to have some capital improvements in the coming years, but that's not immediate. And when we get to that animal, we'll certainly have a big discussion about it, but it's not on the current plan.
Charlotte Greenberg, if you care about the old seniors, why was the GW bus discontinued? There are many aging non-drivers that can no longer get into the clubhouse. This is what the community promised when it originated. Shame on the board and all involved in making this decision.
Currently, I mean, there used to be a bus here and it was eliminated many years ago before we came on board here, and because it was basically nobody riding the bus.
Okay. Sandy Heitner, horrible security company. They didn't call us when we left our garage door open. We called them to tell them they're expecting someone. And they called to ask if it's okay, but we just called. They're very unfriendly.
It's getting hard to hear you, Jamie, with all
I
the
know.
buzzing.
If you're departing, can you please keep the chatter down? The people on Zoom have a right to be heard as well. Thank you. Bear with me, I'm just scrolling through. Mario Pasquarello, yes, when will answers come? Management company could be good. Marissa Acera, will they be on site 5 days a week? Most likely not. I came from a development like this and it was a nightmare. Margie Bales, amen. George is okay. Sandy Heitner, I helped my daughter-in-law's bridal shower with George. It's BB's show. I couldn't say enough. What a pleasure it was working with him and his staff. He went above and beyond our expectations. The food was delicious and priced well. Carolyn Knight, I had an event in the ballroom very recently, even though I brought in my own catering company. George from B Bistro came in to see if he could help me with anything. He did help, and I was very grateful for his help. He absolutely does care. He didn't have to do anything for me, but was so accommodating. I will use him for a future event. Rhonda Marin said, scream and shout, but she would like some answers. Gail Klein, she disagrees. She thinks it was time for a change. The board is doing a right thing. James Varhees, any outside management should remain and always be under the board. That the management company will be answerable to the board and not the other way around. Management, Fran Fruchter, management company costs more, HOA will cost more. Gail Klein, security was outsourced by the previous administration. Take it easy, folks. These are your neighbors on the board and they could walk away. Bill Baldazone, people should be addressing questions to the president. Janet Horowitz, why hasn't a survey gone out to residents regarding the restaurant? Sorry, I'm trying. Mario Pasquarello says, yes, an audit is a completely normal thing to request. Just so everyone here knows, we do have an annual audit every year by a private CPA. That is something that is available in your portal and done annually. That's not something that we don't do. Marilyn Carlisle wants to know why Karen, the previous security guard, was thrown out today. She wanted to hear what she had to say. Just so everyone here knows, in fairness, these meetings are for residents only. They're not for visitors. They're not for family members. If you're not a homeowner, you're actually not supposed to attend these meetings. They're member meetings unless you're invited to speak. So that would be why anyone that's not a member would not be at the meeting. Gail Klein, that is incorrect. Not everyone had good relations. Perhaps you should ask Jamie and the others as to why they left. Many people have come to me. You know where to find me. If you're raising your hand on Zoom, you have to type it in the chat. We can't take you that way. Robin Kessler, so why is the new board addressing all the issues with security? We are paying them. We should sit down with them about all of our issues. Listen, do you want to come do this? Great, then I'm just gonna keep going because I would like to get home tonight. So I'm just gonna keep going. David Green, can someone from the board speak to making contractual agreements with an outsourced management company regarding a cap on profit margins? I'm concerned residents will have work requests turned down, not because the request is without merit, but because some number cruncher does a profit-driven cost benefit analysis.
Not at that point, we can discuss any of that. I mean, it's just an unknown, commodity at this point. We can't answer it.
Diane Vernicus, that is the most important point. Who will be managing this community? Marilyn Carlisle, Karen wanted to speak tonight, so don't say you have given our people a voice. Again, she's not a resident. Oh God. Gail Schimberg said Karen was asked by a board member to speak tonight and Jamie wouldn't let her stay. That is absolutely incorrect. 100% not true. What is happening with the outside pool? You just addressed, that was Joanne Warren, that nothing is being done at this time. Donna, oh goodness, Donna, your last name. I'm going to call you Donna K. How much has the bistro cost us since we've been supplying all the utilities for their catering business? Our community is in afterthought after this main business. Check the bills before they came in, what our cost was. This was a foolish move, which someone is profiting from. Okay. Are we not taking any?
Take care.
Sorry, on the restaurant, and I wasn't clear on the exact question. They wanted to know how much they are
Using in
costing us.
utilities, correct.
Okay. The exact numbers that they cost us, or the restaurant, because they're not paying for their utilities. Obviously, it varies every month. Very difficult to break out what they use and what is used by the town center. But even if we were to estimate it, there is a cost to us. They do not pay for it. We do. I will say, and someone made an incorrect statement, all restaurants that have been part of this community did not pay rent, okay? In this particular case, the same applies, although the current operator is running a separate business, okay, out of the offices or out of the restaurant facilities. So again, all of this, we've said it before, all of this is being considered We are speaking to the current operator. We're also speaking with others. We have not made any decisions as yet, but we will in the coming weeks.
Okay, I'm skipping over some of the repeats to make Joe happy so he doesn't yell at me again. Latasha, how long will the contract of the new management company be? Make it a short time, so if we don't like them, we can let them go.
Well, we haven't signed the contract with any of those stipulations in there, but generally industry-wide, there's usually we haven't signed a contract with anyone, with any agreement on any of those issues, but generally speaking, the industry basically gives the HOA who's signing the contract basically a 60 or 90-day notice, pretty much 60 or 90 day. If we don't like them, there's generally a 60 to 90-day notice that you want to terminate your services, and it's a done deal that way. But we haven't agreed to anything on that. So, you know, it's all hearsay.
Jane Press, how will day-to-day operations be handled while a decision is made regarding a management company?
We are, and as Tom has said, I think on 2 occasions, we are fitting this 6-week process into a very short time. So we are trying to make a decision as quickly as possible. The only reason we have not as yet is because we are still awaiting proposals. We had to give them time to review their numbers and to submit their proposal. So very soon, we will be making a decision about which way we are going.
Eileen Carpenter, with regard to security, the outsourcing was for money saving. The agreement was previous employees would be retained. So it is indeed the board's responsibility to ensure this commitment is maintained. Please do not say it is not my problem. Maddie Lidoff, why are, I don't know. Why are not answer questions from other communities, management companies take over, including golf? Sad for Jamie. Don't be sad. I'm okay. We have a lot. Please forgive me if I'm not reading. If you had 27 comments, we want to go home tonight. Stephen Byer, unless we missed it, what is currently the operating cost for the restaurant and all costs in total per the month? Kathy just addressed that as best as she could. Sherry Ferber says this is still the best place to live in Monroe. Sherry Mellon, how will the concerns and feedback given tonight be addressed beyond tonight? How will the questions presented tonight be addressed beyond tonight?
I think we attempted to respond to as much of the kind of the general questions. I think they revolved around the restaurant and they revolved around the resignations and retirements. I think we got to the majority of them. I don't know if there is anything else that we missed. I can't.
I mean, we can go back and look at the transcript.
We certainly can. Yes.
Eileen Carpenter, what is the plan for transition with the loss of management staff? Has Jamie been asked to stay to transition? It seems we will be without any management. Marilyn Carlisle wrote that she was invited. I don't recall being invited, but Oh, okay, so that's different. So, gotcha. So, as far as that, I mean, I can answer that. I gave 30 days notice. My last day is March 8th. So, the board answered the rest. Diane Vernicus also asked if I could stay until management is resolved. I'm sorry, I cannot. I'm starting a new position. Michael Mattias, been here 17 years. Not one restaurant had a liquor license. Without it, you will never be able to make it. I'm sure you would all love that, wouldn't you? Just about now. Kathy Benetti, most times I am not able to reach the gate. No one answers the phone. It's extremely annoying. Also, I use B Bistro and George and he and his staff are excellent and give an abundance of delicious food. You should let him present at a meeting so we can all understand what he gives the community. I'd hate to get someone else to run a restaurant and not be able to sustain it. Thank you. And that is it.
Thank you all. I'm glad you were able to, who's left, you were able to sit through all this tonight, and thank you for coming. And I'd like to have a motion to adjourn.
Okay, Jay made the motion.
Just want to
Second
remind everybody to drive
is Bob.
within the speed limit, please.
We're-